So welcome back to Four Corners of the Galley. I'm your host PBO, and you're joining me on another edition of our Atlanta Robbin season. And we're all the way up to episode 4, Helen. So without further ado, let's kick this right off. Alright, so episode 4, Helen. So this is kind of like a one-off. The first 3 episodes have been about the whole group, and then a van finally came involved in episode 3, but it's been about the guys and all the different adventures and them going on their split adventures, and this one is one full episode just strictly on the relationship between Ern and Van, and on a wild little road trip. So, episode starts off with a little fun. Basically, Ern is pleasuring Van in their privacy of their own home, and they're having a good little moment, and kind of just shows what's going on, and clicks off. The next time we catch them, they're both in this car on a little road trip, having a nice little dialogue, talking about the little fun adventure they're gonna go on for the weekend. They're both in this great mood, just kind of conversating. She's asking him if he's ever been to Marietta, and he's like, yeah, I was up to Helen in 4th grade, and I saw it. She's like, well, it's real different, it's not the same. He's like, oh, I've been there before, it's no big deal. She goes, with the festival and all, it makes it a little weird. So they're having this great dialogue, and then out of nowhere they hit the brakes real fast, and what is it to show you that basically this episode is not like the rest? Is basically there's like a pig, a wild boar in the middle of the road, sitting there just eating some fruit, just like casually, like, yeah, don't mind me, I'm just eating some fruit in the middle of the road. Like, you're not in Kansas anymore, and this is not Atlanta. We're in another world. So that basically kicks off this wild and fun adventure that these two go on. So these two are in great spirits, and they got smiling faces on their on their faces, and they look like they're having a good time. And you can definitely see that everything is going good to this point, and only bad can happen after this, because obviously this wouldn't be so great. So they kind of get to this town, and they're showing that all this different stuff, and it's this German restaurant. It's got the different flags up, and everybody's all dressed up. They get there, and she starts kind of like giving like a little breakdown of what to expect and how it's gonna be really different. And she's like, look, this is a festival, it's very traditional, you have this weird demon that comes around. She's like, oh, and I'm really sorry, but there will be somebody in blackface. He's like, really? He's like, yeah, it's very bad, but he's like, how do you deal with it? He's like, well, she's like, I'm like the Serena Williams of this event. It's like, they hate me, but they gotta respect the game so much. So she's basically telling them, like, I kick everybody's butt at everything we do, so they're gonna have to respect what I got. So they get there, and she meets up with her friends, and they're in full garb, and the boyfriend of her friend's in full lederhosen, and he's all dressed up with the hat and everything, and Ern's like, nah. He comes up to him, he's like, come on, man. He goes, you gotta be involved in this. He's like, man, I'm not going that far. That's not what I'm doing. He's like, come on, man, it's gonna be great. You be involved. It's different. It's fun. He's like, nah, man, I'm good, really. Okay. He's like, oh, come on, I got a mask in the car. It's like, nah, I'm good. At the same time, they're conversating. This lady just kind of rolls up to Ern. She's like, oh my God, you look amazing. He's like, she's like, oh. And there you go. This lady out of nowhere is mistaking Ern for some gentleman in blackface. She horribly mistakes it, freaks out, and just kind of like backtracks her way out. And Ern's face on that point before is just like, yeah, you go give me that mask. So Ern goes, and now, worst part is now Ern's got to wear this hockey mask for basically the rest of the night, because he's, getting mistaken for some crazy idiot and the thing they do. So that kicks off to the next part, and basically you come back, and they're all having fun, and they're gonna play this little ball game. It's like, I don't know, it's got a very funky name, I'm not going to get it right, but it's just them all in a circle, and they got this ball, and there's like a tennis ball, and they're bouncing all around. They got to them. So they start playing this game, and Ern's like, has no, she's like, just go on. So they're bouncing this ball around. I didn't realize it was multiple balls. I thought it was just one ball. They're bouncing this ball around. There's like a bag in the middle. They're trying to bounce it into the bag. It doesn't happen. They yell out something. People change spaces. They're all running around crazy, acting nutso about it. And then all of a sudden, things are going on. And then at one point, Ern has no idea. He's dropping the balls. Things are going left and right. He ends up with all 3 balls. He just kind of like turns around, just drops them in the bag in the bag in the middle. They're like, oh, and everybody stops. They're like, oh my God, that was amazing. How'd you do that? He's like, I just dropped them in the bag. Oh, I've never seen that before. And he's considered like the king of this game out of nowhere, because he just accidentally drops all 3 balls in the bag. At the same time, you can see the little steak guy coming out of Van, and she's just kind of giving him the little corner eye look, like she is not appreciating how much respect he's getting. And all of a sudden, they start cheering his name, and you can tell that's not rubbing her right, because like she said, she's the Serena Williams of this, and somebody else coming to steal her shine. She's not really appreciative of that whole thing. So it kicks back, and everyone's just just dancing. Everybody's having a good old time. It's like playing the music. He shows them all having a great time. Everybody's dancing, having fun. And Ern's just not really having that much fun. He's not enjoying his moment there. He's just not enjoying his time. And he kind of, wants to dance, and then Ern, like, kind of pulls her off the side, and they're doing their thing. Oh, sorry. Before they get to their dancing, she's really jealous at that part, so they go over, and they're about to start having some beer. So she's jealous because Ern's getting his name cheered out, and everything's going great. So they go over to have some beer, and you could tell that it's really gotten to her because she gets to the bartender, and she just starts talking German the whole time. She's talking German the whole time to him just to really isolate Ern from the whole conversation. So Ern's just pissed now. Now he has no idea what they're talking about. And she's just kind of like giving him like a subtle dig for like basically doing good and not his fault. He's just trying to fit in and understand what this whole deal. But you could tell kind of really got under Van's skin. So they have this little weird awkward exchange where she's like kind of like flirting in German and talking with the bartender, and Ern's just kind of stuck there, not really understanding what to do. And he's just trying to make some fun, sly remarks. Everything goes bad. So then it comes back, and everybody's dancing, they're having a good old time. And Ern at this point is really pissed, and he's just not really enjoying what's going on. So he pulls over Van to the side. He's like, look, can we have a conversation? They go find this game of ping pong. They're like, oh, all right. She's like, let's play some ping pong. It's like, all right. She goes, well, if I win, you're going to have a good old time going there, and we're going to dance around. He's like, all right, cool. He's like, well, if I win, you're going to be in some weird sexual position. So, of course, like a dude, that's what we do in our little bets. We're thinking, oh, this one-way section, and she's trying to just enjoy the moment of the time that she's having. So, they get playing this game, and she just whoops her. She just whoops him. He whoops him two out of 3, beats his butt, and he gets all buttered at that point. He's like, why you kick my ass in front of somebody? She's like, there's nobody around, everybody's dancing. He goes, what about that guy right there? And he get this real creepy dude in the corner, just kind of standing there real stiff, and he's got like one of those clay face baby masks on. And she's like, whoa, was he there the whole time when I was playing and everything? Oh, man. So this kind of like starts the whole episode off. So the whole fun's happening, but then the real issue and reason for this episode is what kicks off at this point, and it's the relationship between Ern and Van. So this kicks off a bigger debate between the two of them. And basically, Ern's not happy, he doesn't want to be here, and he voices his complaints. She's like, look, I don't know what your problem is. I just want to be with you. I hang out with you all the time. I go to strip club with you. We go and do the strip club. He's like, you love strip. She's like, I don't want to strip club. I don't want to see naked ladies in my face. She's like, I'm sick of going to Paperboy's concerts. She's like, and then he hits her with the low blow and goes, well, I wouldn't be talking that much trash because those are things that pay your bills. And you can see that really got under the skin. So now they really are irking each other at this point. So the whole rest of this episode, there's all these little crazy things going on, but more of the whole deeper part of this is the whole relationship between Ern and Van, and how Ern is very happy with the situation in. He's got his baby mama, he's got his kid, he gets to come and go out of her place, he pays for all the bills, he still gets to have a fun time with his boys, go hang out with Darius and Paperboy and run amok, go to strip clubs, act a fool. Well, Van is not happy at all, and she wants more than just what's going on, and she wants him to kind of really be a part of things that she enjoys and things that she does. And she's not really asking for much at this point, because this is only 1 weekend. At this point, he's always dominating the relationship, and she's not really getting much, so she's not really asking for much, but Ern's just not feeling it. He's just not feeling this whole perspective. So there goes this crazy events throughout this night and all the different things, but the whole thing is just this weird, crazy tension between Ern and Van, and how the deeper part of their relationship is just not working out that much. So that's one part. The other part is they got this really crazy demon character that's like this giant dog that shows up at different parts, kind of like laughing behind Ern and different things. And they say that at one point that this demon dog is going to steal something from somebody, and then they have to kind of like go after and hunt this down. So it ends up taking Van's phone, and they have to go on this like wild adventure with flashlights for out in the streets, and they're looking for it. She kind of dips behind a trash can and stumbles across, gets her phone. And it's just more about the relationship and the tug and the pull between Van and Ern, and how everything started off so great, and they were having this great moment at the beginning. They were smiling, laughing, and everything went downhill the minute that Ern just was not down doing something that Van wanted to do. So everything just kind of implodes at that point, and their whole relationship as a whole just comes to a head. Everything goes bad. At the end of the night, basically, they end up leaving, and before they end up leaving, they end up playing one more game of ping pong. And it's a game of ping pong basically for their relationship, and it's kind of got this transition. It's got this like same moment what you get from like Love and Basketball, where at the end of Love and Basketball, they play a game of 1-on-1 for their relationship on who truly loves each other. And it's kind of got like that same feel. But that one goes different completely because Van just comes out and destroys Ern in this game of ping pong. Basically, like, I'm sick and tired of your nonsense. She takes out, like, all the frustration out on him. And it just kind of, like, blows up at the end. It's like everything was great and feeling all good. They were on this fun time. So basically, at the end of this whole episode, they're completely separated. He's like, look, I'll just drop off our daughter at my parents' house, and that's just the way it's going to be. And she's like, all right. And then, boom, the door closes, and boom. That's just kind of the end of it. I mean, whew, very different. I did like the episode. I enjoyed the whole relationship part. I thought that was great that you got to see a different part of the Ern and Van and how they just interact outside of everybody else. But it was just kind of different. It was really unique and a different take on the whole thing, and kind of like a one-off where they just kind of go off on this one little adventure. But it is going to have bigger ramifications now because now Ern is basically free to do. So who knows what wildness is going to happen or what kind of upset it might happen because maybe Van finds someone and it really bugs him. So that will be exciting to see what those things do. So I don't know. There you go, folks. Not the longest review, but it was just centered around just the two characters and their one event. So I thought it was just more of a central thing. So it was very entertaining. Yeah, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this Atlanta Robbin season, episode 4, Helen. If you guys I don't know if you guys are watching Unsolved, but I'm checking out Unsolved every week. Unsolved, The Murders of Biggie and Tupac. I got episode 4 right here. Other ones are there also. And I don't know if you missed last week's episode 3 of Atlanta. Moneybag Shorty, got that one right here. All right. Well, until next time, folks. Good night, Ted.